The power of these large language models that the big tech companies or these, call them, large upstarts are now really kind of driving forward. Obviously, we think there's tremendous value in leveraging what's being built by these large LLM players. That said, how do we create a moat? Like, what is it that we're doing that's different that allows us to continuously build and innovate, not only on top of those LLMs, but creating a unique data set, providing more proprietary value based on what we're learning from the customers that we work with, and that's where I think there's a differentiated value, right? So currently, all these models are relatively generic. They have a tremendous amount of information. The way you prompt them, prompt and hope sometimes, you get responses, right? And like that's something where we think about the idea of building on top of the large language models as a way to create scale and continuously, level up as these models are leveling up. But what is the proprietary data that we have? How do we understand that data, the nuances of that data, and create a strategic moat for each of the different industries that we go into? That's where we can provide the most value. I think that coupled with having, a human in the loop who helps really the customer understand how to make value of that information.
And that's human in the loop on the your company side, not on the client side.
We,
Yes.
for some we do both. But I think number one, it's really on the 1848 side. But then ultimately, if there is a need for us to work with SMB, owners or customers, we do provide resources to help support the implementation and the use of that in the early days. So it's almost like this onboarding process that we've introduced for some of our customers, and we think that provides strategic value as well. But the core of this is really around what is the proprietary data? What is our data strategy that supports that proprietary data? What are we ingesting? What are we creating? What are we generating? And how does that create a better product or a better service for the industries that we are going to be focused on?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this too, and I kind of arrive at the same answer. Correct me if I'm paraphrasing incorrectly, but the lasting value and moat and IP of a company is less about process or technology and more about what unique data do you have. In this world of, there are foundational models left, right, and center. They all kind of do the same thing more or less, and they're going to keep competing, driving down costs. It's wonderful for the consumer, for the small company building on top of them. But the differentiation is that data piece. Is that kind of the core thesis for 1848?
Yeah, that is part of our core thesis. Like, the idea of understanding the customer pain point, solving the customer's, key needs obviously is the way that we interact with the customer, but underlying all of that is a large data set that we think we can build for any industry that we go into. And the more we learn about that customer or that customer segment, the better the product or the service we can build or create and ultimately innovate on top of as well. So yeah, that is correct.
If you enjoyed that clip, there is much more of that conversation. Make sure to check out the full interview where we get into so much more. And if it was helpful, click the like and subscribe button. If not, no worries. Hopefully, I'll convince you next time. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy wherever you are.